here's 5 free agent quarterbacks that I think we should target if we don't decide to go with Taulia Tagovailoa and we decide to go with a veteran. Number 1, Tyler Huntley, 26 years old, has starting experience, and some think the Browns might want to target him, and maybe snatch him away from the Ravens in that division. And they think that he'll be a clear upgrade over PJ Walker and DTR. I think he possibly could be, but I think DTR could play. He young. He came from UCLA. He could play. PJ Walker, yeah, I think he's better than PJ Walker. And I think that, when I seen him play after Lamar got hurt, he showed me he could kind of be Lamar Jackson light. And I think he could push Tua as far as competition in camp. And, we could even use him on the scout team if we trying to simulate, going against a scrambling quarterback. So he could be an asset like that. If we trying to go against Mahomes or Josh Allen or even Lamar Jackson. He played with Lamar Jackson, so he could definitely simulate that. Maybe him and Anthony Weaver can, hey, I seen you do this in practice when I was at Baltimore. We might need to think about that. Maybe I think Tyler Huntley would be a good option. Next, Joshua Dobbs. He's 29 years old, been a journeyman in the league so far. Played for the Jaguars, the Browns, the Steelers, the Vikings. Shit, he might play for every team just like Fitzpatrick, the way it's looking, so far. But what I like about Josh Dobbs is it seems like he's well prepared whenever he goes into the game. He got drafted from Tennessee. He played for the Volunteers, and he's made plays and won some games in this league. I remember what he did with the Arizona Cardinals last year. I forgot who they beat. I think they beat the Cowboys. I forgot who they beat. And then when they moved into Minnesota, he got right in there and was able to make plays, So he was kind of balling, and I think that, he could lead us to a 2-1 or 2-2 record over a 4-game stretch if Tua was to ever get, hurt and he had to get thrown in there. I feel confident that he could do that, and you need that on your team. The next quarterback that I have that could be a target, in my opinion, is Easton Stick from the Chargers. He's 28 years old, got a funny ass, the Easton Stick. But shit, Stick be balling, man. He's been on the Chargers for a while. I like some of the plays that he made in preseason, and I think he could be a good backup simply for his versatility, and his potential to be kind of like a Taysom Hill, because he got dynamic ability. I seen him on tape, and obviously Taysom is way more physical. He's more of a power runner, but shit, Easton, he could be used in that way, and I think if Mike is willing to try that, and he's willing to create a package of plays and be open-minded, he could be a good backup for Tua. Next, I got Gardner Minshew of the Colts, 27 years old. He's not a franchise quarterback. He's a fringe franchise quarterback player, and I think he's underrated, but I think Gardner's underrated. Gardner Minshew's underrated. I think he's better than some of the quarterbacks that started last year. I think he's better than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. I think he's better than Zach Wilson. I think he's better than Daniel Jones. Shit. He might be just as good as Geno Smith. I mean, Gardner ain't that bad. He's not that bad. I think teams just ain't never believe in him. The Jaguars gave up on him. Is Trevor Lawrence really that much better than Gardner Minshew? I mean, ask yourself that. But you look at what he did with the Colts last year. I do think he probably gonna stay in Indy because I think he likes Shane Steichen's system. And honestly, I wouldn't blame him. If he stayed, he should stay there. And then last, I got PJ Walker of the Browns, 29 years old. He showed that he could fill in when needed as well. And I think he might be a good fit in McDaniel's scheme as a backup.